Why are you smiling at that? We're live with Jesus from PPA at the Finch University. And I have to say that this week has been challenging because I don't know Spanish. And it has been interesting because there have been several times where I've looked at these PPA gate operators, and I haven't. I've had to step back a little bit and say, well, I don't know anything about it, so I can't service it. So today we got Jesus from PPA here, and we're talking about some of the gate operators that you have brought to the Finch University and that we've installed. And I have not put any PPAs in until today. And yesterday I spent all day learning about the way that the menu is set up and the way that the gate operators are set up. And why did you want me to put my sunglasses on?
Me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I just
Okay.
didn't. Oh, okay. I didn't know if you
why.
want. No,
It's
I'm
okay.
just kidding. So I asked
No.
Jesus. We generally have music that starts out that Robert that comes on and plays, but Robert is doing what I should be doing, which is actually out in the field putting gate operators in. But today I'm here learning about the PPAs, so you don't have to learn about them, and we can teach you in class. So we got Jesus's work number up there if you need to contact him about anything in the future, and there's the website as well too. And you can find a bunch of gate operators on there, but we're only really going to talk about a couple ones. Yeah, okay. But what's
1,000.
what's the difference with those operators? Is it just because some of them are for some markets and some of them are different weight ratings, or so what's the deal with all the different gate operators that you have?
Both reason actually, because we work in different markets, different countries. We have Latin America, Europe, Asia. I mean, very much. Like in Europe, it's like right now 5 countries, but still the rest of the other model. The reason is we keep developing new models, particularly each 2 years,
Okay,
more or less,
gotcha.
and we're still carry on past models. So
Okay,
they just keep it posting and posting more operators.
so we just have the which two models that we have. I'm still
We
still
have
trying to figure them all out.
the Cube Nexus 1300
Okay.
and the Brutale Nexus 3500.
All right.
The
So
two operators that we have.
the next, which one is this right
That
here?
one is a Cube Nexus.
Okay, so the Cube Nexus is the one that we installed at the Finch University, and we put a new gate in for you guys to actually work on and test. So that one will be here for you. And when we got the gate operators in, I pulled them out, and there's this plastic like Nintendo controller. So as soon as I saw that, being as old and as dumb as I am, the first thing was this is like, oh, this is change, and I don't like change. So, because I want to learn that stuff for you guys, so you don't have to learn it, so you can just come in here and I can tell you what it directly relates to, because there are several menus and sometimes different languages call them different things. So it was worth it for me to go and actually go through all of the things. And even though there's 20 or some odd menus, we're only dealing with 2 or 3 of them. So it's actually pretty easy. But the other thing is in that it also came with one photo eye and 2 remotes because it has a built-in receiver. Okay. And the thing that I found that, so first of all, the programmer was going to be one of those things that I was just like, it's not going to be used. The model behind us, it actually has a port right there that you can actually plug this controller in. And if you will, it's basically just a small LCD screen that tells you what's going on in the gate operator. And as soon as you plug it in, it overrides the actual control buttons that are on the board. The other thing it does is as soon as you go into program, it immediately stops the gate operator, so you don't have to worry about it acting up. But one of the so I did like that, even though it was one of the things that I thought, to be honest with you, I just thought it was cheesy to have that. However, when you find out that you can program remotes through it, when you find out that you can determine whether that remote is actually even working through it, when you can set the limits, when you can move the gate operator without actually disengaging the manual, there are a lot of features in that. And if you think that, I would imagine that that eventually will be tied into what I thought was actually pretty cool, which was their app. And everybody's got an app these days. You can't even see it. Sorry, the contrast is blown out. But I mean, it was just as simple as finding the network that we were on, and then finding the device, entering the password, finding the device, and that was pretty much it. And it's just like any other app, with the exception of, although I don't know all the apps, it had a couple of cool things. So it has scheduling. It also has some transactions in it. It'll tell you when it opened and closed.
Yeah,
Will it tell you anything else?
it records the commands.
The commands.
We
Gotcha.
actually have that model of Wi-Fi model, and we have a second model with a different development, different engineering,
Mhm.
and it have more features. So you can name the remote control that's activating the
Oh, okay.
you can name the command, who is the person who is activating the motor. On this one, if I'm not wrong, you only have the historical of open and close.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's all that I saw in there. Although we blocked the photo eye and a couple of things of that nature, but we didn't do like reverse sensor testing or anything like that, which again, you can do through the controller. So I would imagine at some point in time, that's going to be on the app. So the app was really easy to use. So the app that I have here, is that the only one that's available in the US right now?
I have two apps.
Oh, okay. Well, why didn't I get to download that app that has all that stuff in there?
It's because the older one is a different model.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
we have these two same products on the road.
So is it based off of the Wi-Fi module that you actually buy? So if I buy a newer Wi-Fi module, it'll apply to the new app as well. Oh, to this app. Okay. So what's the newer app again? I'm just trying to figure
The
that out.
latest is that one.
Okay.
This one friendly. It's more friendly for the programming.
Okay.
That version actually. The other one is still friendly, not as that one, but they have a little more features.
Oh, okay. I
They
got
have
you.
the relay, for example.
Oh, okay. So the other thing that I was concerned about when I opened up the gate operator, I don't know if we have one of the old board. So the other thing that I looked at when I looked at the board was, first of all, I was surprised that it actually does have a nice little LCD on it. But so yeah, this is a newer board. And is this UL 325 board?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the newest incarnation that has been approved by UL 325. So yes, these gate operators that we're talking about right behind us, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yes.
and the one that we installed here at the Finch University have been through UL testing.
That's correct.
And the newer one is all black. All black. So although you can't see my mouse movement on here, just imagine I was thinking that everybody could see the mouse movement. But so the new one's all black. We just built this custom pipe stand by going to Pound Town and pounding these in, putting a little brace across it. And then we welded the frame, which was nice to find out that it was not aluminum, that it was steel. And there are some frames out there that are steel. But the way that we mounted it was traditionally how I do it, which is welding the frame. But there's a couple other things that you can actually do. So this is the new board. And if you take a look at it and you're a red-blooded American, just like I am from, just in nowhere's Texas, then that's that. You look at this and go, well, that you can only play Nintendo on. But if you look at the board and you see some of the option or some of these little terminals, if you will, the white terminals, those are for things like optional relays to be able to control the light, to maglock relay, and then being able to plug the programmer and Wi-Fi in as well too. So this is what the programmer looks like. So are you going to tell me that doesn't look like a little Nintendo controller? It does, but the point is that in this particular gate operator, you can walk up to it without taking the cover off or anything, and plug this directly into it and set the limits, set the gap from the physical stops. how fast it starts, how slow it starts, delete remotes, factory reset, add remotes, see if the remotes are working, set the language, and so on and so on. So you could do all of that stuff without actually taking the cover off of. So I am very impressed with what I saw based on how niche I thought it was before, how it was just like a toy. So if I only had another red-blooded American redneck on the phone as well too, that'd be
What's up?
hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, not much, man. Just driving.
Just driving, just getting done working.
Did somebody call redneck?
Yeah, yeah, man. Redneck,
For a
man.
redneck?
You got
That's
Brian
what
here.
I am.
What's up, man? I thought you was
What's
out putting
going
gate
on?
operators in.
Well, I'm headed home.
Oh, you taking the rest of the day off? That's right.
I tried to. Trying to.
Oh,
Oh, we
Mendoza,
lost
no.
it. We
Oh, I
lost
guess
it.
I'm the backup redneck. You see that?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Oh yeah, man. 6:40.
Yeah, 6:40. So, oh yeah, it is 6:40 where you're at.
Yeah.
North Carolina, that's correct. So he's
Yeah.
not as full-blooded he's not a full-blooded redneck like I am, but his wife definitely is from the same part of the country I am. So
Yeah.
he's he's associated. He is associated. So, anyways, Robert, I know it's be tough to see it on your phone, but that's the one we just put in at the Finch University, and we also have their new board here as well too. That is UL 325 approved. So,
Cool.
what experience do you have with PPA?
Only experience I got is Pinga 51.
Which one is that? Crickets? No, the Mr. Sound Effect. He's been doing sound effects all the last 2 days. Every time I
Oh
do
well,
something
let me
stupid.
see. Let me think of another experience I've had. Brahma beer. Let me see.
Oh, Brahma. Okay, that one I know.
Uh-huh.
I know Brazilian. That's it.
I
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
drunk
Yeah.
the whole case of that before.
So just so y'all know, those are not gate operator models. That's just, that was him trying to level up the redneck as person
Well,
by knowing you got Ken from Brazil, correct?
yeah, my grandmother and I got an uncle that lives in Barretos.
Is your Ken actually your Ken's in town right now, aren't they?
Yeah, my grandmother's here in the Carolinas with us now, but she'll be going back next month. But
Oh, cool.
yeah, I've been to Brazil, been to Barretos, São Paulo, and yeah, I've been through there before.
Well, hey, Sus is from Miami, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't know any of those places.
Miami's just like is a little extension of Brazil.
Yeah, actually, right now it is. Right now it is. Boca
Yeah, it
Raton
is.
and Orlando, Boca Raton and Orlando are just packed for
Yeah,
Brazilians. A lot of Brazilians.
because
So,
but no,
tell
I
us.
have no experience with PPA. As far as I know, that they're the new kids on the block. As far as I know.
Yeah, and you guys have been around for how long?
Here in the American market, 10 years
And
already. 10,
how long
11
in
years.
Brazil?
In
How old are
Brazil,
you?
plus 40 years.
40 years. So
Yeah,
Plus.
cool.
tell us a little bit about just give us the sales pitch about the company, where it's from, and then what your footprint looks like here in America.
Okay, at this time, Brazil, PPA probably is the biggest factory in Latin America. It's based in Sao Paulo. Okay, they have like two main factories, Sao Paulo, and two other developing centers. One is
Gotcha.
Sao Paulo, another one in, well, even for me it's difficult to mention that city.
Okay.
But yeah, so
But you do all the UL testing, and you have a facility here in Miami as well too.
Miami.
Tell us about that.
we have a distribution center in Miami. That's the one who have already 10, 11 years working. And yeah, all the development on these two products
Mhm.
was based on Miami.
And again,
Everything.
tell me the two model products that we're talking
We're
about.
talking about the Nexus Cube 1300 and the Brutale Nexus 3500.
And those numbers actually mean something in relation to the gate
The
operator, correct?
capacity.
the capacity, the weight capacity, right? So we found the worst gate that we could find at Las Vegas Fence that is all misshapen and all that stuff. We put it on a track, and we've been running this gate operator on it today to see if it's set up, and then zero problems with it whatsoever. So
good.
yeah, it was pretty nice. I used the controller. I don't know if you've seen the controller, Robert, but
Yeah,
this.
I have to say.
All right, so just imagine, if you will, just a hardwired app. I mean, that's what it is.
Is that one connected?
No, it's not powered. It's not powered up.
Because the length of the wire, we can show ever the display.
Oh, gotcha. I'll add some videos on Two Smooth operators for the display. The display, you really just in essence have to get used to, because the way that they label things are not the way that we label things. So hopefully there will be somebody that comes out with a little cheat sheet for that. But
Yeah.
Brian already know. I mean, he already knows something that I didn't know until today about the casing for the English and whatever.
So if I understand correctly, what you're saying is the case that's going to go around this is actually going to be English for the U.S. market. And
Yeah, because let me tell you something. The biggest thing about the products like that is you got to get the English barrier. I can barely speak English myself because I speak redneck, but that people have got to be able to understand them, and
Yeah.
that's the main thing. And it looks like a good product. I saw the first video on that roll gate y'all were putting in the track and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks pretty. And I saw it last year at the FWA Fit Show.
Oh, okay.
So-
And are you guys going to be at the Finch Show this year too?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we got October 1st through the 3rd going to be at the Finch Show. So you could stop by. Not only will the Finch University will have a spot at the Finch Show, but the Finch Show, they're going to have a booth there. He's committed to that now. We have him on record. So if the contract hasn't been signed, it's signed now. So anyways, you'll be able to see it there.
Forgive me.
Yeah.
Made them commitments. So anyways, the other thing is too is for you guys that are we already have some people signed up for the next classes coming up through the next few months. Gate operator quick start class. You guys will be able to work on that gate operator as well as the other gate operators. We have the Door King 6006, the Patriot. We've got the 3500 behind us and some automatics and stuff. So we try to get you trained on as much stuff as we can. FinchUniversity.com, by the way. And before I forget, we got Evansville coming up here pretty quick. We're going to go to Evansville, Indiana, and we're doing 2 days of how to install a gate operator, which is a tad bit different than our gate operator quick start class, because this is in the field, and you guys are going to have to do a lot of the work in order to be able to catch up with what's going on, where we might not work on each individual component as much. We're just going to be working on the gate operator out in the field, and we're going to be putting in an exit probe and things of that nature. So we are pretty excited about that. So I think I covered quite a. I think you're still on there. At least I see your face. So, yeah, you got to get going. You got to get a better connection is what you got to get. You got to move out of the sticks.
Losing connection.
All right. I can see you. You got to take off. Well, you're taking off. You're taking off now. So anyways, thanks Robert for joining, man. We lost you on your connection. I see you cussing in the background. All right, man. We'll see you later.
Man. Yeah, man. Y'all have fun. I'll check this out later.
All right. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you.
Check you later. All right. So anyways, so the things that I went over on the board, as I was talking about it, there's a couple of more things I want to bring up. Handing is by swapping. This is the weirdest thing ever. I'd love to know the electrical part of it, but because of the design on these gate operators, and that they are using a three-phase, what I'm going to call variable frequency drive. Because they're using that to hand the gate operator, you actually have your three-phase wires back here. Those are my words, not there. So the wires back here, all you have to do is pick two of them and swap them, and that will determine the open to the left or open to the right. So when we set the physical limits, what position should the gate operator end up at? In the open position or closed position? All right, so closed position. So for any of you guys who've installed any gate operators that have physical stops like a 9150 or something along those lines, where it's relying on the physical stops, this will be basically the same type of setup. It's the first thing that you're going to do is to set the limits. But the cool thing about this is you also can set the gap to the physical stop.
It's not mandatory, but you can do it if you want, if you need it.
So if you want to create a little space, if I remember correctly, it has it in cycles or phase. It goes one phase, one cycle, two cycles, to the gap when you're setting the gap.
Is not. It's just a. It's not a magnet actually. It's not a unit. It's like a relation.
Gotcha. So it just says 1, 2, 3, 4.
Exactly.
You just go in the programmer and set it, and then that'll give you the space in between whatever physical stop you're using. The 1300 came with actual physical stops on the chain, but you don't have to use those.
You can use that one because it goes with the kit.
Mhm.
But also you can use physical stop on the structure of the gate.
So, right.
Yep.
So that's what we're doing with the gate operator that we just showed a picture of here at Defense University, is that we're using one physical stop for the close, and then we're using, you can actually see it, the chain physical stop on the open position. So it's relatively easy to do. So that's one thing that I forgot about. The 120 to 240, you don't have to select it. You actually just put whatever you want in there, and it'll actually figure it out itself. And it comes with a 433 megahertz receiver. So the first question that I ask is, does that antenna that's actually built on here, is it extendable? Really, in essence, if you need to extend the range or whatever, just put another third-party receiver in there. Okay. So was that a pretty good sales pitch for it from a technician?
I won 2 of those boards already. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let me ask you this. What did I forget that you can think of that I would know? Because
there was a very good introduction to the equipment. I don't know. You already mentioned the speed control.
No, we didn't talk about that. Okay. So how much, what can you control, and where can you control it? So you can control the speed, how fast it goes, feet per second.
Exactly.
Okay. And what does that go through from 1 foot per second to, can you go below 1 foot per second?
Yeah. We can
okay. So if you're doing a tandem gate, which you showed me a picture of a tandem gate that you guys did that had 4 leaves on it, I think.
Yeah. That one is a different model, but still the same, basically the same board.
Same principle.
So you will have the same principle.
So you can slow it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then how fast can it go?
Right now, by default, is 1 feet.
1 feet per second.
In accordance with
UL 325. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I can't remember if the 4th classification you could go 2 feet per second. Can you, Brian?
I think that's
if you go to the 4th classification, can you actually speed that up, or is it just 1 foot per second?
UL?
Yeah.
With the Brutale, I know that we can increase.
Come on, you're supposed to know that.
With the Brutale, we can increase it in commercial environments.
Out of play because you don't have to have. You get in some classification, you don't even need them on it. Yeah, but you got a person standing there.
Oh yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I just
need the photo eyes as much.
Gotcha. Oh, that's something that I forgot. Remind me about the photo eyes after we're done talking about speed. So you have speed that you can just set the speed, how fast it opens and closes it. But what about when it starts, when it stops, and all of that stuff?
The slow down, close to the limits.
The soft stop.
We can even control the area plus the speed in that slow down.
Okay.
Both options we have.
So prior to it getting to the physical stop, let's say 4 feet, whatever the number is, because it's just using a number to determine that. So say 4 feet, you can say, this is when I want my soft start to start, but I want it to go half a foot per second or 3/4 of a foot per second or
Or
whatever.
0.
But
You can set to 0 if you
okay,
want.
and 0 would be what?
No reduction, and will just stop suddenly.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Mhm.
all right, cool. Almost like there's a physical stop there.
Mhm.
So that's speed. Anything else that you could think of that we forgot to talk about on these boards?
Okay.
I'm still just crazy.
The automatic closing if you need so.
Oh yeah, so it has automatic timer to close, which you has a function in there which you can actually override with the remote as well too. Is that correct?
Exactly, the hold position.
Okay, so hold the position. So it's a stop,
Yes,
if you
stop
will.
command.
So in the app, what that would allow, I would imagine what it would allow you to do is actually you give it a stop command. If you have landscapers coming in and out, you give it a stop command. And if the timer to close is on, it will override the timer
The
to
timer.
close. Okay. And then with the app, what was really cool is you could set it to actually give a close command like 2 hours from now. So right now on our time, it's almost 4 o'clock. So if I wanted the gate to close at 5 o'clock, I could just go into the app and set close at 5 o'clock, or vice versa, or just set a schedule from 9 to 5 on next Thursday or whatever, right? Because it has scheduling in there as well too. So that was a cool feature. Anything else? Anything else you think I missed, Brian, that you thought was cool? All right, great. Good one. Good one.
You know,
All
I
right.
think the setup process is really cool. I mean, basically,
automatic-
once you power that up, you hit
Plus.
that remote once, and all of a sudden it goes and learns it learns
Everything.
the-
That's-
the,
that-
you know
well, it's a good
stop
point.
and start, and it just next thing
He's
you know,
paying
it's ready to
attention.
go.
Yeah, he actually is paying attention. You don't have that cowboy hat on too heavy.
You hand the customer the remote and say thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually the main one of the
I mean,
main
you can go in
features.
and do all the other programming if you want, but it's not necessarily necessary if you're gonna just boot it up. It's ready to go out of the box almost.
So I'll put some videos on Finch University on their YouTube channel and on the Facebook page that show going through the 4 or 5 things that you would actually go through. But it's relatively simple. You're just using these arrow buttons to go over to the menu that you want. The first one to the left is the language. So if it's not in the language that you want to see it in, you just go over to the left and then you hit the plus button to go cycle through them. And then you would go through your open and close position. But Brian was right. So to set the limits, the first thing that you do is if you have the Wi-Fi module plugged in, you unplug the Wi-Fi module, you plug the programmer in, and then you will just hit the plus button. And by hitting the plus button, the gate will go all the way open, all the way closed, and learn the limits. And in theory, you could just hit a couple of more buttons over, click the remote, program the remote in there, and then you're off to the races with open and closed. And the rest of it's just features that you may or may not need, but you're good to go right then and there. Now, the other thing was too, which I think I might have mentioned earlier, but I want to go back to, was that if you just need to move the gate without actually doing manual open and close, you can do that from this as well too. So if for whatever reason you don't have the key to unlock
Safety
it,
reason, maybe if you want to get into close to the operator.
because as soon as you go into programming to open and close that, that means everything else that's connected to this is overridden.
Over it.
Yeah, so you can't actually open it or close it or anything like that. But here's a trip. This is what is really cool. And I didn't believe it until I tried it, and it actually works like this. So in your PhotoEye setup, when you go to connect your PhotoEye, which is just like any other normally closed PhotoEye that you would set up, which is power, and then your ground and common are going to share a connection, and then your depending upon whether you're doing your open or your closed PhotoEye, you'll plug it in there. So you might have to have a little jumper if you're sharing quite a few commons in there. But you go into the programmer, and it has I can't remember what it's named, but it basically has just a monitor open and monitor closed section, and you go into it and you can tell it whether it's a normally open, normally closed, or a pulsating photo eye. So it'll use pulse photo eyes. Or you could just save the hassle and just tell it to learn what it is. And then it'll actually learn. It'll see that the contact is closed. It'll see that it actually sees, I don't know how it does the pulse, but I would imagine it sends a pulse to it. And then it knows that, hey, this is the photo of that eye that we have in and it'll work with any of those photo eyes. So although the 1300 does come with a photo eye,
Yeah.
and the 3500 comes with one photo eye, so you'll need to get your other photo eye for your monitor open, but it comes with a normally closed photo eye, but you can hook up any device that meets the requirements in your jurisdiction that has it. So now that I've talked all of that, the whole thing about all the stuff that I remember, was there anything that I missed now?
The force.
The force.
variable too.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
for example, what happened to us in the facilities in Miami? We have a bunch of equipment installed because of training purposes, or maybe your showroom,
Mhm.
and there were some displays that they wasn't too tough enough to withstand the strength of the motors.
Oh, okay.
So we reduce the strength, and we can use the displays without the possibility to break it up.
Have we officially announced any visits to PPA?
We will be down there on the 25th, and then we're going to be setting up an event, a training event there at their facility.
So the 25th of April is going to be a visit that is not open to the public, but it's
If
just
somebody's
the.
around and wants to meet up with us, let us know.
Oh, okay. So
it's not an official training,
okay.
but we will be going back probably around June to do an official training in Spanish and both English.
It's a
and
warming
Spanish.
exercise.
Yep. So we're kind of just getting that stuff set up for the training.
Gotcha. So April 25th, the Finch University and the FWA will be down at the PPA facility in Miami, and you can go to their website that you see here on the bottom, or you can call the office and you can get that address. And you're more than welcome to take the tour with them. And then as we get dates for the training that we're going to go down there, that training, the PPA training for those dates will be in English and in Spanish.
Yep.
Okay. Simultaneously, or are we going to
At
do
the same time, because we're going to try to, everybody's going to be learning together.
Okay, cool. So that'd be pretty exciting. So it'd be good networking opportunity, especially if you're from that market in that Florida market, because of the overwhelming people who natively speak Spanish. So that'd be great to be taught in Spanish as well too. One more cool thing I want to bring up before we get off and say thank you for coming down, because it was eye-opening. I hate to say that about myself, that I am so closed-minded, but I want to be able to train other people on other products, regardless of whether that I use them or not. And it was very helpful for you to come out. So thank you. But if you'll notice behind us, we're doing our quick start classes. We have our ads. Posters, I guess you had said, not ads, posters on all the sections that we feel are important in the quick start class.
You're going to
So-
do the training on English, Mr. Brooks. So
I've got to do it
Yeah,
in English.
right?
No, I need to do it in Spanish, man. So we've had these posters that we've built for you guys that give you the top 4 or 5 steps on how to do transmitters and receivers, how to do photo eyes, how to do edges, loops, multimeter, telephone entry, and keypad. So for the people that need a refresher or some basic understanding of the concepts, like why are we connecting this and this to a relay? Why do we want to use this power supply over that power supply? How do we test it? Why is it important to test the power before we actually plug it into a device? We now have those posters up that will help us instruct you, but also in English and in Spanish, you'll be able to see what's going on the throughout the program, throughout the class, because there are some people that speak English but they learn in Spanish, and that's what we're going to have these up here for. So we're going to continue to develop that as we go. And if we do the class in Miami at PPA, we'll have some form of that up there. So if Peanut Gallery back there, or if Jesus, if you have anything to say that I may have forgot, please let me know.
Related to the motor, I think.
Yeah. I want to thank you for donating the equipment to the university for training.
Yes, that is an important thing, because this does cost these guys a tremendous amount of time and money to do this and help us out. This is, again, if you're just joining in, this is the one that we have for this is the one that we have here in the Finch University. I just said, I had to apologize, guys. I was missing the chat. So Andrew, if you're still watching, the more pictures you have, the better in the manual. So that's good to know. And PPA down, you guys down there in the Miami office is saying
Of
happy.
course, you already saw what I said. Oh, man.
All right. Well, he's saying get home quick. You got a lot of work to do, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
So we do appreciate you coming out here, and for all you guys that are going to be taking Quit Start class, and you've got some stuff that you want to look at on this to see if it's right for you. That's what it's here for. And any tips and tricks or pointers that you have on this gate operator, that's also important for us to know, because we can convey it to them. Because the American market, they are doing very, very well in Florida, from what I understand. And you're actually, is it okay to say what distributor you guys are at down there? Okay, so they're at Control Products down there, one of the biggest distributors that's out there. Those guys do a really good job picking products that they want. So it shows that in one of these markets, and one of the three main states of the markets, that they're doing very well in. So Control Products down there in Miami, you could check them out and see if they can sway you to look at a PPA for a gate operator. But we want you to come in here and learn on their product, because guess what? Service is a tremendous part of our business, and you may not installed it, but your customer may want you to actually service it. So the first thing you're going to have to do is get you a programmer, get you a Nintendo controller. And I think this does Sega 32-bit or 46-bit, 64-bit as well too. So if you want to play Hedgehog, you can use it with that controller. So thank you for coming out.
You want to put the snake in the?
Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe we can play race cars with the gate operators, see who can get them going the fastest and crash into each other. Well, look, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much, and stop at finchuniversity.com for all the classes that we have coming up. I think we have about 8 or so scheduled for the rest of the year, including what we're going to be doing special at the Finch Show coming up October 1st through 3rd. And this time, going out, signing off as Michael Brooks for KWL. So it's 4 o'clock at PST time. Have a good day. And this concludes your broadcast.